everyone, welcome to day 12 of Scraptember. Today is tone on tone. So what I'm going to be doing is stamping with scorched timber on this paper from the Botanical Buzz collection. We'll be using some of the Botanical Buzz for the titles and for the embellishments. For our tone on tone, we're going to be doing tone on tone stamping. I'm going to be using this from the We collection, We Story Stamp from Ali Edwards. I've had it a long time. I love it. It's got all the kind of cute little things that you want. So I'm going to be doing that. Put you on fast forward and you can see it come together. Okay. So the very first thing I thought of when I thought of tone on tone was to find a piece of paper in some collection that was a tone on tone design. And I looked and I had a few, but none of them were really inspiring me today. And that was kind of part of the problem is I wanted to scrapbook something that was exciting for me. I've been doing a lot of pages for Scraptember in batch. I think I talked about this in one of the other videos, mainly because of time. So I have business trips or I have some vacations. So I'm gone a lot of September. So I'm having to, on the weekends, do a week's worth of videos. So at this point, this was the last video that I was doing for this week, that day. And I wanted it to be something that was fun and that was inspiring me. And none of the tone on tone paper I was finding was doing that. So I decided, why don't I make my own tone on tone paper and do it with something that I love? And I love words. I just do. I love words and I love stamping. And these are the two things that I wanted to do. So I looked and I found this Ali Edwards stamp. And I found this great picture of John and I from the wedding that we went to. And I decided that I would make a frame, a tone on tone frame for these pictures and do that for my tone on tone. I'm not going to lie, this may be my favorite layout I've made in a long time. Just the tone on tone, the subtlety of the scorched timber on this linen kind of tan background. It really, really came together great. I'm using some Tim Holtz, the Ranger old rubber stamps from Stamp Anonymous or Stamponymous or something like that. Anyway, I got those last year as part of a release. Love those. They're some of my favorite kind of Valentine's Days, but really just hearts, background hearts. This turned out perfectly. Now, one of the good things, I know I've talked a little bit about the bad things about having to print from Walgreens for so long or from CVS, was that I got glossy photos. But one of the good things is I got photos that are the exact right size with no mats. So when I print from home, I almost always print with a white border because it's very hard to get the cuts exactly right on the photo. But right now I've got a 4x6 photo right there and it's awesome. So I had that. I was able to, I think you saw in the beginning, I took a pencil around it to create the mat. Then I stamped and ended up having just the perfect mat and the perfect kind of tone on tone stamps going in that diagonal down the page. So the last thing I'm going to do is add just some embellishments. I'm working from the Botanical Buzz collection. And this is a newer collection for me. Probably could have gone in my new supply prompt, but I had opened it. So I wanted to go ahead and open that Fun Times collection because it had never been opened. But Botanical Buzz is something I bought at the same time. And I got it because of the colors. These colors really scream to me, the yellows, the greens, a little pop of teal every once in a while. Also, I am, for those of you that don't know, a Georgia Tech Yellow Jacket. So anything that has buzz in it, I tend to get just from sheer solidarity with the name. But it's a great collection. I pull out the ephemera pack first and kind of create two little sections of, or I should say three little sections of ephemera, one on each side of the photo in that blank space that I have no stamping, and then one in the bottom right corner. Basically going with the idea of a diagonal pattern again. There are a lot of bees. There's a lot of bees and honeycombs in this collection, but if you ignore those and you just focus on the shapes and the florals and some of the outdoorsy items, I think you'll find it works for everything. This is about the fourth or fifth page I've done with this collection, and every one of them looks different, and it is just a lot of fun to find ways to put these items on a page. The octagons or hexagons, I think they're hexagons, are also just interesting shapes. So I know they're doing it as part of a beehive, but it's just a lot of fun. I want to add a few more florals on here that I can tuck. That's the other thing. They have these laser cuts that make great places to tuck things. So that's what I end up doing here. I'm pulling those out, and then we're going to see this all come together. I'm going to glue it all down. I hope you're enjoying these different pages. This week particularly, one of the things that happens when I batch record is I have, a collection out, and sometimes I tend to use that collection over and over and over again. So what I tried this week, so if you've been watching starting on Hoarding, which was the 7th, which is Sunday, to now, which is Tone on Tone, so those kind of 5 or 6 pages, I tried to use different collections for all of them. So I tried really hard I did some Spectrum Gardenia, some Spectrum Sherbet. I used Fun Times. I used a couple of just the metallics for the Geo82 collection, Vineyard. So we had a lot of different collections getting used. And I think that adds to the fun of watching these videos. It does also add to the mess of my scrapbook room, just true. But then I know tomorrow is large photo, and I just printed the photo, and I believe we're going to go a little bit rogue and do some Halloween here in September. So if you're interested in Halloween, you might want to come back tomorrow. But like I said, I hope you're enjoying these different pages. It's a lot of fun to do. It's a lot of fun to have different designs and different patterns, and to do that all, for me, to do it all at one sitting has kind of been fun. So I typically, like when I go to a crop or when I'm doing stuff for challenges, I have 2 or 3 collections and that's all I use, and I use them, and I like to try to use them up. In this case, I'm using a bunch of different collections all in one day, so it was a lot of fun. The final thing I'm going to do is find a title here, A Moment to Remember. That was in the chipboard pack. I think that is a fun title. It fit perfectly right along the bottom of the photo. I didn't want to cover up any of my stamping. This is one of those times, a lot of times we talk about, oh, it's okay to cover up your mixed media, cover up your stamping. I didn't want to this time because I really liked how it looked. I'm using a Diary of Belle Rose sequence mix. She is someone that we found during December Daily. Allie Edwards kind of found her and got us all kind of hooked on her. I will say the colors worked perfectly for this. However, as I was putting them down, I discovered this is actually like a pumpkin pie sequence mix, because there are little pumpkin pies in this mix. And it's obviously, I didn't necessarily know that when I picked it out for this layout, but if you're doing a Thanksgiving layout and you want to have a shaker, or if you're doing shaker cards for Thanksgiving, I know some people send Thanksgiving cards, this mix has pumpkins in it. Diary Belle Rose, pumpkin pie. Very exciting. So the last little part is putting these sequins in, and then I believe I'm done. So hopefully you've enjoyed this. You've enjoyed watching this come together. I will see you tomorrow for large photo. And this Scraptember has been a lot of fun. I'm still going strong. Haven't missed a day. And we will see you, and you're seeing my TV show that I'm watching there. We will see you next time on Scraptember. Thanks, everybody. Bye-bye.